Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. It's a miracle.
Well,
Like, you need to come back. Hey, you want I'm so glad he saw you.
We're old, you know.
You know, I just glad. I know.
People actually ask me, leeway you get together before with something.
That's something you would want to do.
I left you messages.
Oh, you did? Yeah, we actually wanted to. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. I tried to include a little bit of everything, but it's kind of hard because we only had a couple of spots. Some of them. She was big on it. Christmas. It was hard. I kind of wanted to get a little bit of everything. Yeah. No, don't start now.
I'm already started.
Came from my
I couldn't even hardly get my camera to work. One to take pictures. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, working. All Health Network. Already started former wrap up. Yep. Yeah. She's gonna donate lots of less than 3 times over.
Oh, yeah, that's how my son is.
And I said, well, give her a hug.
Why not? Does Grandma get a hug? No. If Mom's around, I don't want to.
Saturday.
I'd go Saturday. Yeah, fine.
I will let you know when that appropriate time comes. Before continuing, would you please check your phone and make sure it is silenced? Thank you. Please join me in a healing heart meditation. You may gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Let's begin by placing both feet firmly on the ground. Taking some deep breaths as we embrace the beauty of nature surrounding us. Relaxing into this moment by listening to the sound of the birds, feeling the sunshine and the gentle breeze on our skin, the waterfalls. Be fully present right here, right now, in this sacred time and space to honor Janene. As you inhale, breathe in Janene's spirit into your heart. As you exhale, allow your grieving heart to rest back and be soothed by this collective moment. As you breathe in, feel that your heart drops down just slightly. And as you exhale, it always rises up once again. Silence is a source of great strength. In silence, we experience peace, forgiveness, and universal love. Continue breathing deeply into the silence for 5 deep breaths. Visualize a beautiful butterfly landing on your shoulder, and for a moment, its glory and beauty belongs to the world. Then it flies on again, and though we wish it could have stayed, we feel so lucky to have seen it. We unite together to summon our resiliency, to ask for support and strengthen our bonds. We come to share our emotions, memories, and laughter. In time, your special memories will bring comfort to your soul and peace to your heart. It is Janene's spirit that touches us, staying with us forever. When you are ready, gently open your eyes and come back to this sacred time and space. Notice how you feel as we listen to The Wind Beneath My Wings, played by C.D. Clark.
It must have been cold there in the shadow. Never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Beautiful face without a name. a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you were my hero? And everything I would like to be. I could fly higher than an eagle or a helicopter. You were the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I have it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I wish I could be. You see, I can fly higher now than an eagle. Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Spirit of life, and also our companion in times of loss, touch those who through this sorrow are reminded of the collective losses in their lives. Loss touches us, the living. It creates a pause in the cycle of life and allows time for self-reflection. In the presence of loss, we become more aware of life. When we lose someone we love through death, there is a dialogue we continue to carry on with that person, having nothing to do with spirits, heaven, or afterlives. It is the dialogue of promises made, values adopted, lived, and memories actively cherished. Our hearts are lifted up with love and gratitude for having known Janene. She was an inspiration to each one of us. While we are experiencing grief, let there be some laughter amidst our tears. Let's remember Janene's beautiful smile and her contagious laugh as we recall her slapping her leg at something that was just so funny. Laughter is the elixir that gives us hope. Janene was born in Madison, Wisconsin, the day before Valentine's Day on February 13th, 1951, and passed away on September 7th, 2020. Her illness and diagnosis of stage 4 pancreatic cancer came quick and sudden. Still, she maintained a positive attitude and attempted chemo to battle the cancer. Her daughter April was by her side, comforting her and holding her hand when she made her transition. Janene is survived by her siblings, Carlene Gordon, Jeffrey Zabalski, Christine Valentine and Patrick, and Shireen Kevin and Peter, her daughter April Love, her husband Joshua Fitzpatrick, and her grandson Owen Fitzpatrick, and many nieces and nephews. One of Janene's favorite childhood experiences was visiting her grandma and grandpa Zabalski in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Her grandfather, Bernhardt, grew up on a farm and decided to pursue a higher education. He became a chiropractor, treating patients out of a clinic in his basement. Janene would always tell the story of sneaking downstairs with her siblings during nap time to listen to their grandfather joke with his clients as he treated them. From her grandfather, Janene learned education offered freedom and opportunities. He showed her the value of serving others through a profession and taught her the healing properties of laughter. His example inspired her throughout her life. Janene attended Lakeland High School in Minocqua, Wisconsin, a resort town where she learned to love nature. After graduation, she continued her education and became a licensed practical nurse in 1971. For 30 years, Janene worked as a nurse. While working at Fort Logan State Hospital, Janene felt she had learned enough about the human body and became interested in studying the mind. She attended Metropolitan State University in Denver and earned a BA in psychology in 2000. In 2006, she earned her master's from the University of Northern Colorado and became board certified as a licensed professional counselor in 2008. Janene found her passion. She loved counseling people, and she excelled at it. Janene's careers also brought her lifelong friendships and helped her give love, support, and encouragement to others. In 2018, Janene moved back to Aurora from Littleton to be closer to her family. Always a hard worker, she made the hard decision to semi-retire and focus on her private practice, which was very successful. In her spare time, I know you're wondering how she had spare time with that kind of legacy there, her education and family. Janene enjoyed running to help relieve stress. In 2003, Janene trained for the first marathon in Las Vegas. Her first marathon, not the very first one in Las Vegas. Okay. And she completed that despite windy conditions. That same year, Janene was selected to run in the New York City Marathon. Her focused goal with each race was to finish and don't come in last. Runners establish a kinship with each other and often gather at the finish line to talk about their experience and stories. When Janene crossed the finish line at the New York City Marathon, she was showered with bouquets of flowers, cheers, and hugs from April and friends. What an accomplishment! Even in this exhausted and exhilarated state, Janene noticed a man who had run near her through most of the race sitting on a bench by himself. There was no one there to acknowledge and celebrate his huge efforts. She grabbed one of her bouquets and gave it to him, congratulated him. She wanted him to know that someone he just met genuinely cared. A marathon is one of the toughest challenges a human can put themselves through, so each runner should be celebrated for their monumental efforts. Janene's philosophy of entering a race each month and not coming in last inspired April and Josh to join her on races. They ran multiple 5Ks and 10Ks, including her favorite race, the Boulder Boulder. On top of all that, Janene was a fantastic parent, often working 2 or 3 jobs to provide the best of everything for her daughter. She encouraged April to get an education and to believe anything was possible. Dream big, pursue your passion. Yes, do it. Travel and go see the world. April and her mom had a special relationship. They were the best of friends, and April is forever grateful for all the sacrifices her mom made. Their unconditional love for each other was an inspiration to everyone. Janene became a nana when her grandson Owen was born, and that was over 5 years ago, I think. Janene loved being a nana, and she was great at it. When she played with Owen, she became a child again, romping around to Owen's delight. She indulged him in his never-ending desire to play hide and seek. She demanded hugs because he gave the best hugs, and Owen happily gave them. Janene, April, Josh, and Owen went on many hikes together. Their first hike together was in Roxborough Park, and that location will hold a special place in their hearts because it was also where they went on their last hike together. Gina Martinez met Janene in 2003, and they quickly became friends. One of their first outings together was going to the Renaissance Festival. They enjoyed many concerts over the years and happy hours too. Gina takes credit for introducing margaritas to Janene. Well, that's a big thing, yeah. And that became their favorite drink. They were both single parents and loved each other's daughters like their own. Janene was always so optimistic. Even in the darkest of times, she looked toward the light. She was planning her victory party during chemo treatments. A friend like Janene comes along just once in a lifetime. I miss her very much. That's from her friend Gina Martinez. Now I'd like to read a tribute from a longtime friend, Barbara Joy. Is Barbara here today? No. Oh, she's in Wisconsin. Okay, hi Barbara. Hope we get this right for you. Goodbye for now. In the summer of '69, I met my best friend, Janene Carol Zabalski. We connected instantly along with our group of close friends, Bonnie and Charlotte, more like the Four Stooges. We were all in nurse training at UW-Madison Hospital. We worked many long, hard hours and always made time to have our fun. Wonder if she had margaritas then. I don't know. My mom and dad, my sister and grandma loved Janene as a daughter and accepted her with open arms. Not long after this time, Janene had moved to Wyoming. We continued to stay in touch, whether over the telephone or coming to see one another. Then, little April was born, and they eventually moved to Colorado. Though we were many miles away, we always stayed in touch between Wisconsin and Colorado. The only thing she neglected to warn me about were the snakes they have in Colorado. A week after getting home from Colorado, she sent me a picture of a large snake on the side of her house that she found while gardening. She said she took a water hose and sprayed it across to the neighbor's yard. Luckily, I never saw that thing. Janene always liked to reminisce about the good old days. She faithfully would attend all her high school reunions in Minocqua. We loved talking about all the goofy stuff we got into. She was the most compassionate and caring person I ever met. We could talk about anything and everything, no matter what the subject was. I miss our little talks all the time, especially how much she loved being a counselor to help others. She was made for that job. Janene, when you left your body, a part of me went with you. I miss you so much and really do not feel this has happened to my best friend. I still talk to you and ask your advice. Even though I don't hear you with my ears, I always hear you in my heart. I love you, Janene, and always will. And don't forget our old saying, when we didn't want each other to do anything too crazy, get in the box. I don't know what that means. Love forever, Barbara Joy. Thank you, Barbara. That was a beautiful tribute. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Aaron Townsend, a former colleague that worked with Janene at Fort Logan, and he has a few words to share with us. And Dr. Townsend.
I never knew this, by the way. But ironically, when I started at Fort Logan, I had the exact same haircut.
Okay. All right. And you're good right there.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I first met Janene Love when I was working at Fort Logan Mental Health Institute, where a lot of people who are gathered with us today also worked. I moved to the geriatrics team for a new change in my career and came to love that population. At the time, Janene was a mental health clinician, and I got to know her over the years. And when it was asked if somebody would like to say a few words, I volunteered so that I could share my thoughts about her. I thought I would share things that I remember about Janene Love. So I've entitled this Things That I Remember About Janene Love. The key word being love. I started thinking about what to write and share with you today. And when I started thinking about things, I thought about all the things that she loved, which of course works perfectly. Her love of her daughter, April. If I had a nickel for every time she talked lovingly and proudly about her, I would be doing this talk via Zoom from my retirement hut in Bora Bora, where I'd been for some years. Her love for her grandson, Owen. Her love for her son-in-law, Josh. Her love for her sisters, Carlene, Shireen, Christine, and her brother, Jeff. And when I was reading these, and I'd forgotten some of the names over the years, I'd always wondered if Jeff was jealous that his name didn't end in an "een." Her love and caring for the patients at Fort Logan. Her love of her best work. Her love of her best work and after work best friend, Gina Martinez. And anybody who knows Janene well knows what I'm about to talk about. Her loves of what I'm going to call silly concerts with Gina Martinez, for example. Were they going to see somebody current? No. Tonight we're going to see Cheap Trick, Doobie Brothers in Chicago. Saturday we're going to see Duran Duran, Flock of Seagulls, and The Cure. And then next month we're going to see Def Leppard, Depeche Mode, and The Fix. And I would often comment to Janene and Gina, why don't you see a band that's actually released a song in the last 30 years? Her love of margaritas, and those of you know her know she could drink more than one. Her love of running, including marathons. And I remember one year when we worked on geriatrics, we tracked her on the computer as she ran. Her love of her hair, short that it was. Her love of the life that she made for herself and for the most part by herself. Her love of going dancing. Her love of mental health and its mission. She dedicated her life to it and it showed. Her love of helping people, all people. Her love of the old people that we worked with for years on geriatrics. I still remember many times when I'd walk into the day room and I would see her painting the nails of some of the older ladies. Her love of laughing, which she did often. Sometimes so hard she would open her mouth and nothing came out. Her love of always furthering her education despite the cost, no matter what the cost. Her love of potlucks. This is a key one. What I learned on geriatrics was that nobody ever waited for the potluck to actually start. So if you left your food in the kitchen, all bets were off. And I remember the first potluck I came in and I saw Gina and Janene breaking what I thought was a sacred potluck rule, which was you wait for the potluck. Her love of her geriatrics partner in crime, Angie Vasquez. When I saw the two of them walking my way together, I often reverse course as soon as possible. Her love of her fellow clinicians, Adria Carr and Bill Young. Her love of her social workers, Ann Sainer, Beth Gray, Bill Carroll, Hayward, and Barb Parker. Her love of her nurses, Mary Johnston, Nancy Johnston, and KK. Her love of her psychiatrists, Dr. Leonard, Dr. Aldifer, and Dr. Barnes. Her love and commitment to the psychosocial recovery movement at Fort Logan. Her love of All Health Network, where she and I both worked during our second careers. Again, her love for her family, all of her family. Most importantly, her love for and of life. Gina shared with me that even as Janene became sick, really sick, all of her statements were future oriented and absolutely positive. Let's go paddleboarding. Let's go on an Alaskan cruise. Let's go see Earth, Wind, and Fire, Foreigner, and Kiss. Janene loved. Thank you.
At this time, I invite anyone else who would like to say a few words to come forward. Okay, everyone's saving it for the reception. And the gelato truck is here, so we're probably going to have dessert first today. That's how she would have wanted it, April says. After our closing message, you are all invited to join us for the interment near the Red Heart sculpture. Or if you prefer, go get some gelato and meet us back here, and we'll be finished there in a few minutes. But you are all invited to join us over there. Janene inspired many with her infectious optimism. She always believed there was a better tomorrow waiting for her. She strove daily to improve herself, to set goals, and to achieve them. She also encouraged family, friends, and coworkers to find their passion and follow their dreams. Janene was quick to laugh and loved to joke around with people. Janene provided love, kindness, compassion, and support even in the darkest of times. She will be deeply missed by her family, friends, and all who knew her. To all those left behind, look to the flowers, look to the trees, look to the sky, look to the mountains, look to one another. There she lives, there she breathes. All of her strength, all of her values live on in you, and will be with you always. Life is a gift given to all, a gift dependent on time. Time is precious, time is short, time determines life. Enjoy with the time with each other so that you may enjoy the gift of life with one another. That is how Janene's legacy will go on. She lived each day with genuine compassion, a grateful heart, and a positive outlook. She would wish the same for you. May the beauty of love surround you. May its peace abide within you. And may its essence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. Peace be with you. We'll follow Becky over to the interment area.
Yeah, I'll give you a thumbs up.
Give me a thumbs up. spectacular, isn't it? We'll keep it short because I know everyone wants some gelato.
And Gina brought margaritas, so.
Oh, Gina, I didn't know that. Okay, now everyone's going to be gone to get margaritas. Yay! You had to. You just had to.
Yes, I did.
Good for you. Good for you.
Okay, we are back.
All right. Thank you, Troy. How's the sound now? All right. All right. Everyone joining us online and in person. We gather to gently place Janene Love to her final resting place. United in strength and love, we remember a life well lived. A life that was admirable in many ways. Janene loved each of you with all her heart. And memories of those happy times together will be with you always. She was a beautiful, compassionate, and caring woman with a big heart. So it only seems fitting that she is right across from this red heart sculpture here. It's beautiful. This is the way we will always remember Janene, that she lived her life as an example, helping people feel better about themselves and maintaining a positive outlook and genuinely caring. The practice of giving of ourselves is the truest way to honor her life. I present to you this poem as a reminder of giving thanks, gratitude for everything, and teaching by example. How looking back is also a way of moving forward as you grieve. Death ends a life. It does not end a relationship. You will always be her daughter, grandson, son-in-law, brother, sister, and friend. Keep talking to her. She is listening. Open your mind to the possibility of receiving messages from her, whether it is something as subtle as a whisper or that helicopter that flew over earlier while CD was playing The Wind Beneath My Wings. You will never forget her, and she will never forget you. As we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all you have done for us, for all the times you were by our sides to help and support us, to celebrate our successes, to understand our problems and accept our defeats, or for teaching us by your example the value of kindness, forgiveness, unconditional love, and true strength. We wonder if we ever thanked you for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best, and for the simple things like laughter, smiles, and times we shared. If we have forgotten to show our gratitude enough for all the things you did, we are thanking you now. And we are hoping you knew all along how much you meant to us. Today we have acknowledged our appreciation for the privilege of sharing a part of Janene's life. And so we say that we are glad Janene lived and loved us. We are glad that she taught us life lessons. We are glad we felt her touch and heard her laughter. We are comforted to know that her spirit is free. To be loved truly by someone is a rare thing. If love is one thing that can be passed down from generation to generation, then Janene, you have done your job. For the love that was in your heart is now in ours, and we can never forget you. Your love surrounds us every day. You are a part of us forever, and we love you. This prayer is printed in your program, For Courage, by Dr. Robert A. Schuller. Lord God, Heavenly Father, thank you for the beautiful life you have given me, for the loving care you have bestowed upon me. You have beckoned me to look to the mountains. You have given me the courage to climb them. You have protected me from negative influences that try to pull me down. You have watched my every step. So if I do stumble, your saving hand is there. Fill my heart with courage so I will continue to climb. Lift my eyes from the valleys so I can set my eyes to the hills. From hence comes my help. As I continue to climb, I can be a positive influence to those around me. As I reach the mountaintop, I can be a light to those below. Amen. May you find richness and example in your memories of Janene. May you find strength and support in your love for one another. And may you find peace in your hearts. And let us promise her to have a dedication to things worthwhile and meaningful in our lives. Always do your best and pursue your passion. Be kind. Travel the world, now that we can travel. Make new friends and know there is always something new to learn. We now leave the memory of our beloved Janene in peace. With enduring love and respect, we bid her farewell, dedicating this sacred space to every happy memory as we lay Janene's ashes to final rest. You may take your rose petals and sprinkle them near her as you say your farewells aloud or silently. Take as much time as you need. When you are ready, join us at the reception area. You will find some share a memory cards on the tables for you to write your special memory or story of Janene. Peace, much love, and many blessings to you. Oh, you got some. Okay, great, great.
Yeah, get a little hard. All right, all right. Where's Gina? She's not. Yeah. Where's that place I used to go right there? They had us bar hopping one night. We're all over the damn place.